being a Minnesota kid, I'm pretty sure like with University of Minnesota being a big school and not recruiting you and having a trajectory that you had.
Was the recruitment there? Little bit iffy, but to be honest, I didn't even want to go there, if I'm being honest. But my skill set, for sure, I could have played football anywhere. I knew that for a fact.
Time in the pocket. Pass picked off. It's Marcus Williams. Williams still on his feet. Williams reaching out. Touchdown.
I'd rather keep it a buck, 100 if you ask me. I was trying to pay the bills just like last week. I was trying to seal a deal just like last week. Trying to run plays and run it up like the mathletes. It's in my DNA to have hope and make a way.
All right, man. Back again with another episode, man. I'm really excited about this episode, man. Again, season 2, episode 3. Got my brother on this platform. Is definitely a big one. I'm appreciative of him being on here, and again, I'm gonna introduce him. He has a number of different titles. We're in the nice establishment of Breakfast Bar Restaurant. But my brother Marcus Williams, I definitely appreciate him being on this platform. We're gonna talk about a lot. I definitely think this is gonna be a powerful conversation for people to kind of tap into. But with me saying it all, I'm gonna pass the mic over to my brother Mark so he can kind of introduce himself and we can kind of get things going.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, man. Like he said, I'm Marcus Williams, born and raised here in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
Went to Hopkins High School, played football, basketball there.
Yep.
Had a good career there, and went on to play football at North Dakota State.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Did my thing there. Resume speaks for itself. Then from there, went on to play in the league, man.
Yes, sir.
So, just doing what it is. Man.
Yes, sir. We're gonna talk about a lot, man. You definitely a big, you're a big impact community leader here in Minneapolis. I learned that quickly, especially with me moving out here and understanding of being to establishments and kind of hearing your name and then eventually coaching together. So we're gonna talk about a lot, man. And people are gonna understand the connection that we have together and the things that we do together, here in the community, just to kind of impact, the youth and a number of different things, man. So just like Mark said, man, he's a Minneapolis native, but kind of let's walk through that, man. I think, it's important for me to kind of, talk more about the people that I have connections with that are from the state of Minnesota. So within that, I mean, I know you kind of talked about a little bit of your background growing up, but let's talk about your childhood upbringing. I know you talked about you going to Hopkins, but kind of talk me through like how it was kind of growing up here in Minneapolis. What was the culture like? What were some of the things that you learned from friends, family, and things of that nature? So,
all right, man. So, I mean, me pretty much, man, like you said, like I said at first, born and raised North Minneapolis, man.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, it was home, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The neighborhood, man, was able, like my dad was a big community guy.
Mm-hmm.
He always worked at North Commons. He worked at the YMCA. These are like big community parks where a lot of the kids around the neighborhood would go, you know what I'm saying, after school or summertime programs, things like that. So we always been a part of the community, you know what I'm saying? Being out there was always a thing. And then my dad, to keep me out of trouble and things like that, because you already know it's things like that going on to keep me out of trouble, he put me in sports, So been playing sports forever, and then just to make sure I was good as well, he was also my coach.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just to stay on me, just to keep, you know what I'm saying? Just doing fatherly things, you know what I'm saying? Just making sure I'm on the right path and things like that. But, I mean, just growing up over north, man, I mean, like I said, it's home, man. Family still live over there. We prideful about where we from. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from Detroit. It's pretty much the same way. How you feel. And I know when you come over here, you probably hear about Minneapolis over north, things like that, though. So, you know what I'm saying? We take pride in that. So yeah, pretty much, man. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Just growing up, man. Just playing sports, man. Just going to parks, like I said, from North Commons, the Farview, the Falwell, the Harrison. Just playing all these parks, and you know what I'm saying. When you nice and playing basketball, really, because that's where I really was nice at. I mean, I should say. Nice, I was putting nice in both, I'm being honest. But that was the thing a lot of people knew me for was basketball growing up because, we're in Minnesota.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's a
It snows
basketball
all the
state.
time.
I feel like
it's a basketball state.
Yep.
Definitely a basketball state because you can't be outside. You only get about 3-4 months to be outside. So the rest of the time you inside.
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying, just being known for that, you know what I'm saying, playing in the parks, doing like that, so you get a name around the neighborhood. So when people see me, you know what I'm saying, it was always love. Or if people see me doing this, they'll try to be like, no, we ain't going to do this with him. You know what I'm saying? We just going to be smooth. It just showed me love because they knew who I was and what path I probably had.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that from a young age, and I felt that love. And it was, like when they see me, they was probably just whatever they was doing, they'll stop what they doing just to try to come hoop, but just try to do that because they seen a lot of people in the neighborhood help me get to where I am today.
Yep.
Basically, what I'm trying to. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Facts. And I think, one thing I do want to say is shout out to Malik Ruck, had him on episode 1, and he built the facility, V3 Sports Center over North, and he kind of mentions your name, and that's one thing that I kind of want to talk about because, again, with me and your connection, I was able to kind of connect with you post-college, I know a lot of people in the Minneapolis area. We know of the same people, but we didn't get a chance to know each other until a later time, as being young adults. And I didn't know too much of, before the NFL, before NDSU. So this is where I'm really getting to know you a lot more, which we talk all the time. But, with me kind of mentioning that, being over North, like you going to Hopkins, that was one thing that Malik Rucker kind of talked about. He was saying that if we was able to have a lot of these kids that stayed over North, if we had resources, if we had the programs in place, a lot of things that a lot of kids that come from over North, they'll probably be a powerhouse for that community specifically.
No question.
So with you going to Hopkins, kind of walk me through like what led you to getting over to Hopkins, and kind of walk me through your high school trajectory. I know you said that, you played basketball and football. You eventually went to college to play football, but kind of walk me through, what led you to Hopkins and your career at Hopkins.
So, being over North, so we was, it's 2 schools over there. You got North or Henry. You know what I'm saying? Or I guess you got Edison, 2 Northeast. But on the north side, for the most part, you got North and Henry. We grew up over here close to the north, so we was always North fans. So and just growing up, just going to all the games, things like that. And I even played there my 7th and 8th grade year. You know what I'm saying? I played there. So I always thought I was going to be a Polar. If I'm not, I thought I was going there. I still go to all the games, football, basketball games to this day. But at the time, man, like you said, like they had open enrollment, and I just feel like my dad at that time felt like it might be better for me to have to get like a better education, better opportunities, because at that time it was recruiting at North and things like that just wasn't where it should have been. Because it's always been talent in there. But it just wasn't where it should have been. And then when open enrollment happened, and where they can go pick up kids from the north side and bust them out to Hopkins or bust them out to Minnetonka, Wayzata, all these other schools, our parents hopped on that. And me, I didn't want to. I ain't gonna lie. Me and my dad was going back and forth. I thought I was gonna go to North. This is what I always had planned. This is what I seen since I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going to be there. So for me to make that transition to Hopkins, it was, I just had to trust. You know what I'm saying? I had to trust what he seen. And a lot of my decisions, you'll see as we keep talking, my dad is big and a part of a lot of things that I do, or decisions that I made. So I just had to trust what it was. And I just trust, I knew what I can do. It would also help me a lot too, because a lot of my friends' parents was doing the same thing. So I got guys like Terrell Sinkfield, Paul Jones, Brian Stanford, a lot of guys, Raymond Cowles, just who live over North, but who I grew up with, playing ball with, football and basketball with, going out there too. Devontae Davis, another guy that amazing. Ed White, another guy, so who I grew up with, so I can go out there and I'm not just feeling like I'm just alone and things like that. So that was a good thing about that, was that I got to go out there, shoot UP, one of my best friends was even out there. So, you know what I'm saying, just being out there with them made me feel a little bit comfortable, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So, and then going on from there, if you want to keep going, we can talk about how we did in high school and all that too. Well,
yeah, I guess before we get there, I kind of wanted you to talk about, because I know you said your dad, like throughout the conversation, we're probably going to hear a lot more about, him being that figure in your life, but with us just kind of having our connection, which we're going to talk more about coaching as well, but talk a little bit more about the importance around having a role model and also having mentors in your life to kind of make sure that you're seeing the correct things, growing at the right speed, and having the right mindset and mentality to persevere and to get through certain obstacles. Because again, we coach kids all the time through at a certain youth level, and we can tell like the things that we give back to the game, like we can already tell that we're a perfect role model for the kids or a perfect mentor, but not having that in their life can be somewhat of a detriment. So I kind of wanted you to talk a little bit about that, because is you having your dad in your in your corner, a lot of kids don't have that figure. So I just kind of wanted you to talk a little bit how important that is, just as being in the youth.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, it has its pros and cons, though. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But the main thing what it does, though, for one, he helped guide me, you know what I'm saying, in other ways that people probably wasn't, you know, and things like that. Decisions, maybe I wanted to go do this, but he didn't let me do it. And maybe, sometimes parenting is different than today's because back then he didn't have to tell me why. You know what I'm saying? Why I couldn't go, things like that. But today, I mean, me as being a father, I had to explain to my son, times have changed, but as I had to understand, like, okay, I just have to move a different ways because, but you see it, though. He was a good example, though. You see how he moved, and I know I could trust him because he wasn't out there doing nothing crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he's doing this, he telling me what to do. I was one of them kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to see what he's doing, and I'm going to always at least hold it in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he's doing this. All right. I'm always been cautious, but he was there if I ever wanted to make a decision that I probably shouldn't have. He was going to be the one, and that's why I feel like having a father or a role model like that in your life, man, is huge. But I say it's pros and cons because he was also my coach. You know, things like that. So when you have that coach and father relationship, it's hard to, at first at least, to like decipher the two. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not dad no more when he's a coach.
Exactly.
But you still might think he's dad, but he got to coach you as a coach. You know what I'm saying? As a player, as one of his players. So that was an adjustment that I had to learn, but and it was just crazy because like, and it's funny because like my dad, like I said, he's always in the community, always, not even just helping me though, but he's guided so many other people, you know what I'm saying? Like in like a mentorship, fatherhood, positive way, you know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, you could ask anybody who's been around North Commons, who's been around the YMCA, who's just been around the North Side, and ask about him and see he'll do whatever he can if he can. You know what I'm saying? And so things like that, that's where I feel like I was blessed at. But having that thing, it's also you got that thing where people who don't have a father in their life is like, man, well, they get jealous of you and things like that. And it's like, man, like, I feel you. And I'm saying I understand that because I feel, especially today, it's like, man, like you need that guidance and you understand like being in a child's life because like you said, we also coaching. So we see this every day. You know what I'm saying, of parents, of players who probably don't have that guidance that's going on at home, but we have to do that when they come with us. And so I feel like I just took that on naturally. You know what I'm saying, just because of I've seen and I've just been around what he's been doing this whole time, and it's just like, that's just what I want to do, and that's why I'm doing what I am today, which we definitely going to talk about as well.
Facts. And again, I mean, with us being on that topic of just kind of, navigating through life, having somebody that's there that's kind of helping you, putting the full picture together as you grow through life. And, I think since we're on that topic, just, I guess now I kind of want to talk about, going back to Hopkins I kind of pretty much want to talk about navigating through sports. So I think it was either Aaron or Alum, one of them kind of mentioned it, saying like, hey man, you should bring up like his senior year at Hopkins when he hooped or whatnot. I don't know your career there, but again, I'm here to learn a lot about you, Mark. But just talk to me through, talk with me about the navigation through. I'm pretty sure you play multiple sports, but what I know you for is probably primarily football, basketball, and all of us gets to that one point of like, this is our baby, this is what we riding with. So kind of navigate me through or walk us through, like, what did that navigation look like when you was in high school?
Like I said, and that's why we all went to Hopkins, and Hopkins is a basketball school. And we turned it low-key into a football school while we was there. But Hopkins is a basketball school. Like I said, I always wanted to play basketball. I thought that was my sport, so my dad was like, okay. Like I said, open enrollment came, and Hopkins came, but came to basketball, man, Hopkins is already a powerhouse before we get there, man. I feel like one of the best coaches there, man, in the world. He's probably still one of the best coaches I ever had in my life, no matter what sport or what level. Coach Novak, man. So he built a program, man, but man, we got in there. I remember this, freshman year, we had a buzz coming from us because, like I said, the open enrollment, I think it was like low-key the first year that started. Or first or second year. I think it was the second year, actually, when I got out there. But the year before, it changed the trajectory. So it started getting a little buzz because we also had a name from playing AAU, you know what I'm saying, doing things like that. So we got out there, and Hopkins is always open gyms, you know what I'm saying? So that's where you're going out there, make a name in the fall, even though I was doing football, but you still got to, I want to do both, you know what I'm saying? So I got to go out there and ball. And but just playing at Hopkins, like I said, man, we was, I remember my freshman year, I played on the sophomore team. We won we won state that year.
Yep.
Shout out to Blake, man, one of the best hoopers ever come out of Minnesota. Blake Hoffarber, man, was a beast. And then, I mean, like I said, then from there, man, sophomore year, started playing varsity.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? One of the guys couldn't play, so I low-key started my first few games
Was you coming into? I didn't mean to cut you off. Was you coming into high school already playing youth football, or was you just basketball all the way?
Yeah, youth football for sure.
Yep.
Like I said,
Okay.
my dad was my coach, basketball and football. So
Yep.
we definitely, man, we had one of the best youth football teams all the time.
Yeah.
If I could put my team would be any team
Yeah.
from Minnesota
what
for
league
sure.
is that league still
It was
around?
Park Board League.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure. I don't think so because the parks are not the same as they used to be. Parks was low-key where everybody was at. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the spots to be at.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We had phones and had things like that. So times was different. You had to go meet up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? To be linked up. So yeah, we definitely played youth football growing up there. So getting out to Hopkins again, like I said, sophomore year, played varsity, man. Had a crushing loss, man, to Minnetonka. Ask Aaron, man, about that one.
Yep.
Man, we was there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then,
Yep.
but the thing I can say about Hopkins, man, the real thing, like I said, we had a lot of guys. We had a great team, I'm gonna be honest, especially my senior year and my junior year. You know what I'm saying? We had a great team to where, like, if I'm telling the honest truth, man, the best competition we had was in practice. You know what I'm saying? We could put 5 on 5, and like our practices was so intense more than the games because, like I said, our coach, he's not really a coach. I honestly think he's more of a teacher than a coach. He's not one of those pep them up, but he know how to teach you and he know how to get you there, and he preaches defense. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always, especially that's probably why I got recruited to play football because they see me playing defense, and that's I learned. Well, I always had it in me, but I learned a lot of that there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I'm going against, like I said, we're going against Aaron, we're going against Yanni, we're going against Trent, Raymond, and then we're not all on the same, like starters not on the same, he mixes it up, so you got to go against everybody, you know what I'm saying? Or you got to make this player better. You know what I'm saying? Who you got to pick up. Things like that. So that's just the program that he built. And then just going to our senior year, man, we had a guy by Royce White. He ended up coming to our school, transferred from De La Salle to Hopkins, man, and he was one of the best players in the nation. All right, so from then on, we got nationally. Well, we was probably nationally ranked the year before. But my junior year, but we lost to Minnetonka in the section championship. They went on to win state. So yeah, he ended up coming over our senior year, man. So man, we was stacked. I ain't gonna lie. We had a squad. Like we had one of the best teams ever around here in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? We can go against anybody. But he came on, man, and we started getting nationally ranked. Like I said, man, we get they actually let us play a game in
a different state,
out of state, and that wasn't really a thing back then. Especially
this is football.
No, basketball.
Basketball, you talking about?
Yeah. So we went over to we went out to New York because we was ranked. Because like I said, he was one of the top 15 players in the nation at this time. So he got a following. Nike was following him.
Anybody come from
like
New York, I feel like they got it on him.
No, he's not from New York. He's from here. Like I said, he went to De La Salle.
But y'all went out to.
But yeah, they actually let Hopkins play a New York team. So it's crazy to the team. So it was funny because when the teams that played before we played was St. Patrick's versus Lincoln, which Lincoln had Lance Stevenson, and St. Patrick's them had Kyrie. So we got to watch, and I never been seen Kyrie before, but I'm like, this guard tough. Who is he? I'm like, I got to guard him. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel because we played next, so I'm like, this whoever it is gonna be tough. But but everybody know we went out there and balled though. I ain't gonna lie, we went out there, did our thing. We had an undefeated season that year. Man, went 32-0, I think, something like that. One state, man. Royce was Mr. Basketball, and I feel like at least 9 or 10 of us went D1. And we can even include Aaron in this thing too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was there. I feel like he was there when we was. You know what I'm saying? He a part of it too. So at least 10 of us went D1, you know what I'm saying, on that team. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why people talk about that team so much, because the talent we had and what we did after school as well. And with us talking about, or what you just kind of leaving off on, a group of people being able to go collegiate, whether it was D1, D1AA, whatever level, kind of talk a little bit more about, I guess, before we get into your professional and collegiate journey when you went to NDSU, but kind of walk me through, how did your recruitment look in your senior year within football? Because again, you're a Minnesota native, but kind of walk me through how that looked. So it was I'd say recruitment was iffy, you know, but
because
a
being
lot
a Minnesota,
of
being a Minnesota kid, I'm pretty sure, like with University of Minnesota being a big school and not recruiting you and having the trajectory that you had.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they didn't recruit me.
Okay,
because they definitely was involved, especially football wise, not basketball wise, which was okay because I feel like. Well, I felt like I could play basketball anywhere. That's just me personally. But my skill set, for sure, I could have played football anywhere. I know that for a fact, especially with some of the guys who was in my class and where they went, things like that. I feel like I was just as good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I definitely could have went to, like, why these schools not recruiting me. Part of that stuff was on my fault because I know I didn't do as well as I probably should have in the classroom. Yep. So a lot of that stuff was on my part. But on the other side of it as well.
Up, kids.
You know what I'm saying? No, literally though. You want to do well in school because you want to decide. You don't want other people to decide where you go to school or your decisions.
Control what you can control.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to control your future and where you're going. So things like that, and that's where my opportunity. I wouldn't say that's why I didn't go to Minnesota because they definitely could have worked with me just like how my other schools did as well.
Exactly.
But when you're talking to a Power 5 school as well, they're not gonna worry about what you got going. They feel like in their place they can find things like that. So was the recruitment there? Little bit iffy, but I feel like they definitely could have recruited me more. And it's funny though because the guy who was recruiting me, it's funny because the guy who recruited me, we actually linked up later in life with the Texans.
Really,
so that's another story. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy. So that's just funny how life works with connections and things like that. You already know about that for sure. So, like I said, do I feel like I should have been there? Do I think I feel like I could have played there? To be honest, I didn't even want to go there, if I'm being honest. But at a time, I had other schools.
Didn't want to go where?
I always wanted to get away from home for school.
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
But
okay, I see what you're saying.
I always wanted just to get away from home because you always see, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at least growing up, people going out of state to go to schools, trying things like that.
Yep.
Especially we was growing up, we didn't have social media, so we seeing if you see somebody at another school, that was like something big and things like that. I mean, out of another state. So I always wanted to go and just test and see how the schools were. I was low-key looking at some HBCUs, all type of things though. But it just came to a point to where I just had to really decide what I wanted to do in my future. You know what I'm saying? And that's what me and my pops, man, I just remember he was like, I was like, man, I do not want to go to NDSU, man. Because at this time, NDSU wasn't what it is today.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? No, there was.
It wasn't a powerhouse?
No,
just yet?
Heck no, man. When they was recruiting me, dude, they probably went 6-5 that year.
Yep.
And then my freshman year, they probably went 3-8.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't start winning until we got out there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And some of the upperclassmen as well. But when our class got there and the class after us got there, man, that's when we took that leap, man.
Yep.
And we also, and it changed from our weight rooms, like the intensity changed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The coaching changed. You know what I'm saying? When you want to win, when you feel like you desire, we got so close too. Like the year before we won.
Yep.
We got this so close, and when you feel that, you know what I'm saying, you never want to let that go again. Especially when you lose, you never want to get that feeling again. So I just feel like, man, we just built off that, and the program, man, like the consistency, man, is due to the great coaching. I mean, great players as well, obviously. But man, we got a great strength coach there, man, who's been there this whole time, even throughout the coaching change, man. He's just changed that program and what it is today. So
facts. And I think, the biggest thing is, like, I graduated high school 2015. So when I came in, went to college, like, I heard about NDSU, and by that time they was really already a school that already had a buzz to them, and it was already a
because we won our first championship was 2011. So that was probably that was like my redshirt sophomore year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Could be in the winter my sophomore year, my junior year, and my senior year. My senior year was the best team. We went undefeated and all that. But,
And just to talk, again, I mean, I want my audience to know, like, I'm truly talking to if I'm being honest, a legend. Some of the stuff that I looked up, it's a lot of stuff that me and Mark, we talk about, but some of the stuff that I looked up, I didn't even know some of the things that he held. But, again, Mark is we're going to talk about the collegiate journey and then the professional journey, but Mark is a North Dakota State University graduate. Again, like he said, he's a three-time champ within FCS football. Like, and that was what, Mark? That was freshman, sophomore, junior?
Nope. Sophomore, junior, senior.
That and that's, I mean, again, that's just elite. That's elite talk, and then more elite talk that I'm gonna kind of give y'all some of the stuff that I seen. Mark to this day, I mean, you'll probably teach me, but to this day, I think he holds the school record of 21 interceptions, you know, true DB, true elite DB. And then he also holds the FCS, the conference record of those interceptions being returned for a touchdown. I think that number is 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I think that's career, not in 1 year. That's career, right?
So the FCS record for return touchdowns.
Yeah, that's, man, I like, bro.
My boy.
That's crazy, bro. Like, again, like where I came in and met you, I knew, I'm like, okay, like people was telling me about you, like yeah, Mark played in the league, and you know, we all got a lot of friends that done played in the league, but knowing the trajectory of like what you did at NDSU, that's like, your picture should be on the wall, like.
Nah, but the thing is, you think it should, but man, my whole story is just about being the underdog, man.
Being the underdog,
overcoming, like I said, just having to go to North Dakota. I shouldn't even have to been there anyway for my talents.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I got the record, also 3-time All-American. You know what I'm saying? Every year, I got the school. Well, I had the school record at least for the most picks in the season.
Yep.
Back to back went, I think 7 or 8 in both of those seasons, man. But just things like that, man. It was just, but like I said, it has nothing to do with really me. It's just everybody put in position, and me just being a receiver at heart.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? With their hands, when they throw it to me,
Yep.
I just got to catch it.
Yep.
So, and it got to a time when in college, man, some of those games was boring.
Yep.
I'm saying they wouldn't even throw it to me. Like literally, dude. Like it was some games, like especially playing like these running teams, South Dakota State, things like that.
Yep.
Wouldn't get no action.
Yep.
And things like that. So, but it's ways to say mentally in it though. So I got to go to return now.
Yep. Yep.
I gotta get some action somehow. My coach is like, you gotta get in the game somehow.
Yep.
Make it spark, so they put me kick return, pump return, things like that, make plays. So
Yep.
I should have had more than 7.
Yep.
If being honest, man, tripped up. If I had a touchdown in my hands, I just fell.
Yep.
Off the turf.
Yep.
One time, Colorado State pump return lineman just came out of nowhere, just shoestring me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So, but it was a time, like I said though, man. But being at NDSU, man, like some of my best friends that I still talk to this day.
Yep.
It was in college, man, and it's just like building that bond. That's why we were so good, man. It had nothing to do with like talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because every team got talent,
Yep.
and especially the other teams we were playing. Like we get to the Jordan Southerns, the Sam Houstons, things like that. They got crazy talent. But man, how close we was though, I don't think anybody could compete with that. You know what I'm saying? From an NDSU, because it didn't matter who it was. I tell people this all the time. Like, it don't matter if it was the kicker. It don't matter if it was the offensive lineman. It could be a DB. It could be anybody. We was all close. And it's like, we all have our, it wasn't like groups. Like, oh, y'all over there? Okay, we're going to be over there too.
Exactly.
Y'all over there? We're going to be over there too. Oh, y'all kicking it here? Okay, let's go kick it as well. And we told ourselves, like I said, we was 3-8 when we first got there, our freshman year, man. And our class, man, I remember we was all together. At like
y'all had a talk.
Probably had like a party or something, but we just like, man, we got to do something. You know what I'm saying? This can't be us, man. And literally, our coach started doing like competition drills in the winter. And we were never doing things like that. And then that just made us like, when you can go at it with your homie that you close with every day, but you competing with him and he trying to beat you and you trying to whoop him, that's when you know what I'm saying, you really going to be a spot, because it's like, I love you, but I'm also not trying to have you beat me.
Exactly.
I'm trying to whoop you on this rep. And it's things like that. So that's what we started doing and things like that. And that's, and the tradition is still there.
And Mark, before we, talk a little bit about your, your professional journey and your professional career, I want you to, because it just hit me right now, I want you to talk a little bit about, fighting through adversity of, just like how you said, you had a chip on your shoulder. I ain't even supposed to be at NDSU. NDSU was a good school, no knock on NDSU. But going to a school like NDSU and knowing that your talent or your skill set could have took you to a Power 5 like University of Minnesota or anywhere else around the country, I know coming out of high school, me going to University of Minnesota, I knew, I'm like, okay, as soon as my dad played Big Ten, I'm like, for me to go to the NFL, for me to make my dreams really shine, I got to play on the biggest stage. I got to get out here on TV. But I think I didn't learn about getting to that next level until I damn near got to JUCO. You got to put shit on film. You got to put shit on film, because at the end of the day, they got scouts that need to do their job. They looking for guys who going to put stuff on film or who going, you feel me? Perfect example would be Quincy Williams. He played at Murray State. He's on the New York Jets right now, play linebacker. But that's a small school.
His brother
is Quentin Williams. He went to Alabama. But I want you to talk a little bit about that adversity, because a lot of kids, even that we coach with our 7-on-7, a lot of these kids, D1. You don't even got to go D1, brother. You ain't got to go D1, but you can get anywhere that you want to go.
I don't even want to I don't even want to skip parts though.
Right.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. I played in the league with at least 4 dudes that went D2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And JUCO, half of them went JUCO.
Yep.
So it's like it don't matter where you at or where you from, but just going back to your question, man. But it just going there humbled me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It humbled me because it's like, all right, you can't go to. You feel like you're supposed to be here.
Yep.
But they have to bring you there.
Yep.
Talk to him. But you know what's so crazy about it though? When I got there, everybody was good.
Yep.
So I felt, oh, I'm tripping.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then I got there and they was telling me, oh, this guy's got a chance to go to the NFL. Or this guy got a chance to the NFL. If I'm being honest, when I went to NDSU, I wasn't thinking, well, I'm trying to do this so I can go to the NFL. Because like I'm just trying to get through school. My dad wanted me, I don't want to play ball.
Yep.
I just want to play ball. That's all I do. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Do I want to? Yes, but that wasn't like, especially going there, you don't know at first.
Yep.
But then once you hear, oh, this guy got a chance or this guy got a chance, give you that motivation. Okay, let's balling. Let's keep going. But it definitely humbles you, man. And even more, like, cause I said, man, like, I just felt like it just humbled me because like I always felt like I felt like I was the best. And I feel like you gotta have a little bit of ego.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I've always been a humble person.
Yep.
Don't get it, but I have my ego when it comes to because I'm a competitor. You know what I'm saying? It's just a natural ego, just from being competitive. But and the same thing happened. That's why I say I always was an underdog because as you read off all those stats and those accomplishments that I've had, I still went undrafted.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So it's like, and I still had to prove myself even after college, even when I got to the NFL. So now I'm in the NFL and I'm still proving myself every day.
Facts.
I don't want to skip where we're going, but I had a successful career. You know what I'm saying? For as much as I played, I had 10, 11 picks. I know people that played 10, 13 years ain't got that.
Ain't got that,
You know what I'm saying? So things like that, I feel like I just had to come from, like, always had to overcome, like, what's going on. But that's what drives me, though, every day, though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Facts.
being underdogs or people
apart.
looking over me or things like that. That's what keep me going, you know? And that's why I love what I'm doing today because I found another drive that's keep me going. You know what I'm saying? It's in a different stratosphere, but it's not football, but I'm still finding that thing that keep me going. But that's what it was for me. It's like, man, all right, you just got to keep proving yourself. And that's fine, though, because that's when I do my best, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, when the odds is against me, that's when I go out there and I perform.
Facts against all odds, man. Against all odds. And you know, I know I kind of spoke about Mark's accolades at NDSU, but he kind of talked about some of his accolades within the NFL. But I'll read them off. You know, Mark, an ex-NFL player. He's been in the league. He was in the league for about 5 years. That's a big accomplishment. A lot of us that you around that come from the background of playing football, our biggest dream is just to put on that helmet. Either hear our name, on draft day, and even if it's not on draft day, we go undrafted. Now we still got another chip on our shoulder, but we still got something to go out and separate ourselves.
I want you to keep going, but that's why I really had a trip because my dream was always to hear my name called, and not hear my name called is something that still stick with me. So I feel that it's like that's why I'm like, man, I got to go out here and kill. And I had a son at the time, just had my son, so my goals, my mind just shifted to everything different.
Facts. Mark. Mark played with the Texans, he played with the Jets, he played with the Cardinals, he played with the Saints, Bucks, and he played with the Bears, man. So, kind of going through that 5-year NFL stint, kind of walk me through, like, what was your biggest, because I know we kind of talked about, I think the biggest thing that you talked about was your years with the Jets, but I'm going to let you kind of talk about it. But what was, talking about highlighted moments, what was some of your highlighted moments throughout your, professional career that you remember the most?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Just going undrafted, things like that was, I was excited because, you know what I'm saying, now I get my chance, like I said, to go prove myself. So being out there was definitely a good experience. What can I say? Accomplished. There we go. So then it's just so crazy. We going back to Texas. It's gonna be hopefully not too long, but man, just so you going undrafted, you don't get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make your reps count when you get in there. So you're going to do all the special teams reps, you know what I'm saying, things like that, maybe on the scout team because, I'm saying, you don't know, you got red cap on your head because you're the scout, things like that. And then you may be getting 4 or 5 reps on defense a day, you know what I'm saying? So all the 50, 60 other reps, you got to be locked in and things like that. But I was able to have good vets, man, and learn from, there when I was there in Texas. So I feel like guys like Jonathan Joseph, man, Kareem Jackson, A.J. Boye, J.J. Watt, just seeing J.J. Watt, we didn't really have a connection like this, but seeing him as an example.
Mentor.
Yeah, just seeing him lead by example. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I remember conditioning, man. We had, man, he was beating all the DBs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that just tell you.
Joseph?
No, this is J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt beating all the DBs.
Beating all the DBs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So seeing things like that, that's a highlight to me. It's like, okay, I gotta step my game up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. But then, just then going to the Jets, man, after that, man, and just getting the opportunity to play as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I started 8 games. Rex Ryan gave me the chance, man. He believed in me because he seen what I was doing in practice previously.
Yep.
And then just being able to pick off Brady my rookie year.
Yep.
Tom Brady to go.
Elite.
You know what I'm saying?
Elite.
Things like that, man. That's like,
yep.
That's things that live with you forever. Memories that you could tell your kids, grandkids about, man. And just then just playing, man. Just being involved, being in the locker room with guys, man. If I'm being honest, like, the field, football is football. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Yep.
I'm saying, and it's funny though because when you playing football, you're more of a businessman in the NFL
exactly.
than a football player.
Yep.
But it's things like that. Well, I should say my second year when I had like 6 picks, 7 picks, man. That was the time. But being able to be around guys or play against guys that you watched growing up. You know what I'm saying? I was my rookie year. I'm in the locker room with Chris Johnson, Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Percy Harvin, J.J. Watts, the elites of the elites. You know what I'm saying? Then you going against who I'm going against? Calvin Johnson. I get to go against Peyton Manning, practice against Peyton. That's my favorite quarterback growing up.
Yep.
So they're doing things like that, man. So dream come true, things like that. But you can't let it get to you when you're playing because you still, you know what I'm saying, you're going at them.
Yep.
But and it's a business. You understand that. You understand that quick when you get there. But that's just the main thing where I was just like, man, I get to live a dream. Larry Fitzgerald, a Minnesota legend, who I train with, I get to play against him all the time, and then I'm matching up against him.
Yep.
That was like something that was probably one of my biggest highlights, man, just getting to go against a guy that you looked up so much to, just being from Minnesota, things like that. So he was, you know, I could keep going. Highlights, just being there, man, was just a great experience, man.
Yeah.
But just putting the work in every day too. You know what I'm saying? With your guys, you meet a great group of guys. I still got some friends that I talk to very often, man. So just building that bond, just locker room, man.
Facts.
If you miss one thing more than out of football, you miss more the locker room than you miss the football.
Yeah, I would
I would
say that too.
I would say that you get to build with everybody.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's probably the biggest highlight, just being around the guys. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Facts. And with us being on the topic of, you know, turning dreams into reality, you know, again, it's an awesome story. It's a lot of guys who have awesome stories going to the league, but just being able to kind of do the things that you've did at NDSU, having that chip on your shoulder, and then going undrafted, and then having the career that you had within the league. You know, when we talk about those dreams specifically, you know, we kind of you talked about a little bit earlier, talking about being able to do what you're doing now and being able to find that drive that's keeping you going. So when you got towards the end of your NFL stint, what kind of sparked that dream of like, okay, I think I want to go in the restaurant business. I want to be a restaurant owner. Like, what kind of started that, you know, once you kind of got towards the tail end of, you know, you exiting the NFL?
I mean, being honest, man, when I was living, like I said, played in Houston, played in New York, man, and they had a lot of spots where you can just chill, vibe, you know what I'm saying, smoke some hookah, drinks, eat good food, watch games. You know what I'm saying, just chill. We ain't got to be like in the club or anything like that. You can just come here, relax, chill, eat some good food and things like that. And one of the homies had so I always told my pops, man, I was like, man, I told pops and my uncle, I'm like, man, I want a hookah lounge, or I want to do something like this, and things like that. How we was going to do it, we didn't know, because especially in Minnesota, with the smoke laws, it's a little bit different than other states. So we was figuring out how we was going to do it and things like that. And one of the homies had this restaurant, his first breakfast bar, and he gave me the opportunity to buy it off him and things to keep the business going. And so we just took that, man, and just, like, I always wanted to do something right with my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always talk about preaching you to save and save and saving money. Yes, that's true. You want to do that, but you also want to invest. You know what I'm saying? And make your money work for you as well. So that's something that I just wanted to do. And then just doing something for the community as well. Doing something for us that we can bring, like, our people to and just have a good time and chill, not have to worry about other things. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the main thing that I just wanted to bring to Minnesota.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just bring something different. Let's not have to always go to Houston. Let's not always have to go to Miami. Let's not have to always go to Vegas to have a good time. We could just do it right here in our backyard. So that's one of the main reasons, but just made me just want to keep doing it and why I wanted to bring something like this here to Minnesota.
Facts. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about Breakfast Bar in a minute. That's Mark's restaurant that we're here in, and I'm glad that he was able to like allow us to come into this establishment, allowing my guys at One Gold Media to set up and be in here and talk about your experiences, your career trajectory, and what you're doing now, in the community. So with us being on the topic of community engagement, community impact, another thing is that this is kind of how me and Mark kind of got to know each other a lot more, is being heavily involved in the youth community with 7-on-7 programs with football specifically. And as you guys can see, I got a hoodie on right now representing Hitman. Go check us out, man. If you in the state of Minnesota, come along with the program. Yes. Get down with us. We definitely got guys like Mark, guys like Demarius Travis, guys like TJ. We got some guys that will definitely instill into your kid to make them the most equipped athlete there is to set themselves apart. So
got the best coaches, man. Best coaches, best trainers in the state, easily.
Yes, sir. So as we talk about that, again, I mean, I guess talk to me a little bit about, what do you like about youth coaching with 7-on-7 Hitman, and then also have you had any aspirations of coaching high school? I know you kind of talked about before we hopped on air with the podcast, but you're kind of teaching now. You're teaching now, but kind of talk to me about coaching and what's the name now?
I mean, like, and I say that too when I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I just feel like at Hitman we just had the best coaches and trainers because like TJ, like that's one of our good friends, and like he's just a great guy, but he was one of those guys that when I was even playing in the league, that I trained with. You know what I'm saying? I seen the improvements in my game from working with him. So when I say he's a good trainer, or we say we got the best trainers, it's from experience. You know what I'm saying? From how I got better. So so being a part of that, I always wanted to work with him as well, and anything else, because I see his vision and I love his passion. You know what I'm saying? So doing this and then being around the kids is definitely what our dream is. It's what, like I said from the jump, it's what I've always been a part of. Always what I wanted to do, just be with kids, you know what I'm saying, just work with them. You know what I'm saying, work with youth and just give back our talents, the things that we've been taught, because we've been taught a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, in a short amount of time. So to be able just to give that knowledge back to guys that need it, you know what I'm saying, and then to see guys succeed, you know what I'm saying, take the knowledge and do something with it, you know what I'm saying, that's the joy in it, man. We've been having guys, we got guys going to school every year.
That's what I'm about to say.
You know what I'm saying? We got guys going to school every year, and that's just
that's the goal.
That's the goal. That's why we're doing it, man. And just to see it, man, to have these guys getting prepared for that next level in college, teaching them things that they're probably going to learn in the next level in college.
Being able to look back and say, I got coached from Coach Mark.
You know what I'm saying? And things like that. And that's not even for my own enjoyment, if I'm being honest, man. Just doing it because I know what I wish I would have had. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up. So being able to understand what a cover 2 exactly is, or cover 3, or how to run man, or my outside leverage, or I'm doing, and being able to teach things like that to these kids in high school, man, it's like you're gonna get to the next level, advanced. And you're gonna be advanced. The coach don't gotta coach you on that no more. You know what I'm saying? He can coach you different. Now that's how you get to play earlier. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to play and things like that. So learning these things at an early advanced stage, it's like it's things that you probably not gonna get from the average coach. You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to that, but just being the levels that we've been with, we understood how we were coached growing up and what's out there and what we can do as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love doing it. I love giving it back, man, to the kids because they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? You see these kids out here working hard, putting the work in, you want to do it with them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You want to go out there and make sure they get to where they want to go. So that's why I love doing it, man. I get past, I'm hyped up right now just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So and then also, with the high school, talking a little bit about high school, I mean, have you had any aspirations of coaching back at your alumni at Hopkins? And if you have, kind of walk us through what you're kind of involved with at Hopkins right now.
High school coaching, Minnesota, I've thought about it. Do I want to indulge in it right away? No, because like I said, like you mentioned, I am teaching now, special education, just a new career that I'm starting out. Like I said, I still want to work with the youth in some way, and this was the way I can get there. But coaching there, one day maybe, you know, but I really just want to be maybe like an athletic director, things like that. That's where, I want to go and things like that. But I also thought about coaching at the next level too. If the opportunity comes, I'm definitely down for it. But I'm also not like out there just ready to
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just go there yet. And like I want to see my son
grow.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see him through high school and things like that. Now, if I get a job in my old school, I'll take it quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But teaching at, I mean, coaching at Hopkins, man, I definitely, man, it's like, I mean, I would love to. I'm gonna lie, just to be there, and you know what I'm saying, being part of that program, man. They got their first win in a couple years yesterday, so I ain't gonna lie, the school is low key lit right now.
Yep.
So but that's good for them, man. But I'm not sure about right away. But if something happened down the future, I'm definitely would be a part of. I definitely wouldn't be against it.
Facts. Well, you know, again, I mean, we kind of in the space of, you know, community engagement, community impact, and we're in the nice, you know, establishment of Breakfast Bar. But as we're on this topic of a Breakfast Bar, now I kind of want you to talk a little bit about, you know, what Breakfast Bar is, who it is, what type of, you know, establishment, what is the mission of, you know, Breakfast Bar, who are you targeting, what type of audience that we're looking to kind of have in this type of environment. So kind of walk us through that, then I can kind of, you know, talk about.
So like I said, man, Breakfast Bar, man, me and my dad really, I mean, we dove real deep into like the thoughts, man. We brought my uncle, his best friend on, Daryl, who's been in the restaurant business forever. So it was good to bring somebody that had some experience with this. My dad's been in business and all that, and things like that. So it's like I said, and I'm trying to invest, and we're all trying to do something together.
Exactly.
So man, we're a restaurant business, man. We sell Southern comfort food.
There we go.
You know,
okay.
I feel like we've got the best chicken and waffles in town.
Okay.
Man, come get
check
some
it
food.
out.
We got the best breakfast grits as well. Whatever you need. But it's like I said, it's a place where you can come get some good food. It's right downtown Minneapolis. So if you're going to a Twins, Vikings, Timberwolves games, Lynx games, we could pull up here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a spot, man, for just where people can come and enjoy themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I love. Like my thing is when people just come to me, especially from out of town, like, man, I love this spot. You got to bring this spot to that city.
Exactly.
You got to go here. You got to bring this spot. And I love, like, we love that stuff. 'Cause I mean, we're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? When you got people of all type of cultures coming in here. You know what I'm saying? We're not just targeting just one. We want everybody to come and enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? But we also do want a spot for our black people as well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For us to feel somewhere where our people feel proud about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Feel proud about something to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Something that's yours, something that you can, you know what I'm saying, like how other people do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So that's what our main goal is, man. And
for sure.
And we've been doing well. It's our 5th year, man. So
congrats,
just
bro.
trying to just keep this thing rolling, man,
Yes,
and just being a part of the community, you know, just listening to what people want and just trying to keep getting better every day.
Yep. And with the services, I mean, when we talk about Breakfast Bar, is Breakfast Bar just a brunch spot? Is it an evening spot? What type of services is involved with Breakfast Bar?
Yeah, so we have breakfast definitely in the morning, obviously in the name, open 9 a.m. Thursday through Sunday. But then at night as well, we also have, like I said, it turns into a lounge where we have the hookah, where we have the DJ, and we have the vibes going. You know what I'm saying? And things like that where the older crowd could come in here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you don't want to go to the club, you can still come out and listen to some good music and chill and vibe and turn up how you want to. You still want to turn up, you can do that. If you want to sit down and chill and vibe, you can do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Have some good drinks and enjoy yourself. So for the main part, that's what we are. You know what I'm saying? That's what, and that's the vision. That's our vision. That's what we're trying to get to the community.
Facts. And with those services being provided, and we talking about the vibes that you're trying to capture, I know specifically. I mean, you probably want to enlighten the audience. I know here specifically, we have a Breakfast Bar here in Minnesota, but I know in the most recent time there has been a new establishment opened up in a different state. So I kind of wanted you to talk about that as well.
Yeah. So my brother actually lives down in Houston. When I played down there, he moved down there. He just never left. So, but he's been in the bar and restaurant industry ever since, man. So he's just been in there grinding, and he always said, man, we're going to bring one down to Houston. And we always talk about Houston. Me and my dad, my family, we love Houston. We just love being down there probably because of the weather. And you know what I'm saying? This is a great black culture, great culture down there as well. So we got our, so now we have a food truck out there. You know what I'm saying? We got our food truck going. It's doing well. You know what I'm saying? We're still growing though. You know what I'm saying? It has its ups and downs, but as any business do. But we're still learning. We're still trying to grow. It's a different environment. I wish we were there more. I can be there so we can put the the groundwork in, the sweat equity in, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But he's doing what he can, you know what I'm saying. He's out there doing it, and then, we're doing. He's been in these last couple of weeks, man. He's been successful, so we just gonna keep going and keep pushing from there, and we're gonna try to really get a nice establishment out there.
For sure, man. And again, I mean, with us being towards the end of the podcast and everything I do, appreciate you for being on the platform. I think this is like really, really big to me because, again, I mean, I'm always coming in and showing love to the business. We coach together. We out in the community, and I see you all the time. So I definitely, with me kind of having my season 1 of my podcast and then going into season 2, I definitely were thinking of key people that I wanted to have start the season 2 episodes, and you was definitely one of those persons or one of those people, and you were open to kind of hopping on the platform. So again, I appreciate you for being on this platform, speaking to the youth that that follows this type of platform of us coaching. So they follow and they want to listen about Coach Mark, and for them to learn more about you is really big because they know probably the trajectory of your career, but they don't know the depth of it because we don't talk about it enough.
Right.
We always just trying to shine a light on the youth. It's not about us. We trying to make sure that
you're good. Things like that. But thing, man, I just appreciate you having me. I mean, for one, and I just appreciate you as well. Just for, like I'm saying, coming to a new city, you know what I'm saying, and trying to learn who everybody is, because everybody's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't really care. They just feel like, I'm from Detroit. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm just gonna do it. Y'all ain't from there, so y'all ain't.
Exactly.
But you were a different type, and I knew that from the jump. You know what I'm saying? When I first met you, you're a different type of person. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because you give me knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Cause we all grow up the same, but you from over there, you come over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because we could just talk about things, we could mix it, we talk about bus, we could talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Real things. And so I appreciate you as well on that point, man, because you out here really in the community trying to learn who people are. And with your podcast, what you're doing, man, you talking to the right people. You going back home talking to the right people. So, man, we seeing what you do as well, man. So keep that up, man. We love it.
That means a lot, man. That means a lot. And again, man, make sure you guys tap into, all of the episodes that's out right now on season 2 of Perfecting Progression, man. This one right here is going to be a big one with Mark. Make sure you guys tap in. I'm going to definitely make sure that, all of the handles is there. You can guys, connect with Mark on, Instagram, the business on Instagram as well. And is there any other shout outs that you might want to give, Mark?
Just follow the business on Instagram, Breakfast Bar of MN. And that's pretty much it, man.
For sure. Yeah. And again, shout out to One Goal Media. Definitely appreciate these guys, man. They've been doing a lot of work. And again, they're going to take the platform to the next level. And any other people that are looking to kind of be in the same space that I am, tap in with One Goal Media. Everything is going to be kind of tagged on that as well. So again, appreciate you guys, and make sure you guys tap in, man.
I'd rather keep it a buck, 100 if you ask me. I was trying to pay the bills just like last week. I was trying to sell a deal just like last week. Trying to run plays and run it up like the mathletes. It's in my DNA to have hope and make a way. Good energy will hit that MJ fade away. Miss me with the hate and now, bruh, not today. Stayed in my lane, didn't complain, this was meant for me.